This is the Creative Boom Podcast with your host, Katie Cowan. My next guest is graphic designer, lettering artist and typographer Craig Black. In my mind, he's one of the hardest working creatives out there, as he's always popping up on LinkedIn, which is wonderful, but it always makes me think, gosh, how does he do it? I need to do more myself. He's worked tirelessly over the last 5 years to build his own business, capturing the attention of the creative industries with his bold and innovative typographic illustrations, murals and installations. Craig followed the usual route to London after graduation, working for a number of big agencies before deciding to go it alone and return home to Scotland. He lives in a small seaside town close to Glasgow and values his family and friends as being the reason why he's able to enjoy his work so much. Craig is also the co-founder and creative director of Creative Inverclyde, a social enterprise that aims to use creativity to push positive social change on his own doorstep. I met Craig to chat about everything he's been up to and how he manages to be everywhere online. I'm here with my next guest, the lovely Craig Black, all the way from Glasgow, or somewhere near Glasgow.
Near Glasgow.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
It's lovely to be sat in front of you and talking to you, because I chat to you quite a lot on social media. So face to face is always a bonus, because we get to sort of catch up and see what we're up to. Because the first time I met you, I think it was at Design Manchester a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Very briefly.
Very briefly.
It was an action-packed day. But it's one of those things, like, you talk to so many people on Twitter and Instagram, and like, they were all in Manchester, so I met like 100 people that day, and like, oh, I'm so from Twitter. I'm like, oh, how you doing? So it was like, it's a bit of a mind warp that day. But yeah, I was a briefing meeting, and then this is the second time now.
Yeah.
But we've been chatting for a long time now, haven't we?
We have, yeah. I featured your work a couple of years ago. Was it like 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago?
I think so. It was the first project. And thankfully I got some work from that. Thank you very much from the Creative Boom doing its magic.
That's what I aspire to make happen.
It did. I actually got 2 or 3 projects out of it, so thank you very much.
Oh, brilliant.
So yeah, it's been chatting ever since, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. And you are, wherever I go on LinkedIn or if I go on Instagram, you're everywhere. You're an absolute master of marketing. And I mean, you've really got it, down to a real kind of skill. And we were saying before we sort of, started recording, not a lot of designers and illustrators. I mean, a lot do, but there are quite a few who still don't quite know how to put their name out there, do they?
I know. I always say, like, if you can meet people face to face is much more powerful than social media itself.
Yes.
And I think social media is like a good tool for initiating that conversation, hence why we are sitting here right now.
Yes.
Because we were chatting on social media and emails, and they were like, let's do this face to face, and it's so much more powerful.
Yeah.
And from that result will end up being me speaking on this podcast and reaching to thousands of listeners or whoever who may have not known who I am, and now hopefully they do. So yeah, like, even the whole marketing on social media, that's something that I've kind of worked on, self-taught myself, to be brutally honest, over the past, 4 or 5 years. And just when I've been doing it, I've been just making sure that I've been authentic and honest with who I come across as on social media. When I mean that, is if to say when I present something on social media, it's the exact same person that you meet in real life.
Yeah.
It's kind of that authenticity. So as if when I meet you in real life, you know exactly who I'm going to be like. You almost know who I am.
Yeah,
and
I feel like I already know you.
Yeah. And that's been a massive thing for me, especially with brands and clients and stuff like that. And that's why people brands want to kind of associate myself with Craig Black, is because they kind of already know who I am.
Yeah.
This kind of energetic and positive guy. And I like to think I am that. But yeah, it's just coming across that way has been hugely beneficial for me. And behind the scenes, like, I am doing tons of marketing, getting my work out there, and it's a lot of hard work. And it's more than just putting a post out there. It's sending the messages and connecting with the right people. And it's a constant machine, and it's hard work. It's all good having a great project and getting it showcased, but you need to do more. You need to connect with the right people to make them aware of the work that you're doing as well.
Yeah, because that's what PR's about. You know, somebody was sort of saying, oh, who was it? It was Ben the Illustrator. He did this survey, didn't he? And one of the survey questions was, do you ever approach art and design blogs? And 86% said no. But it didn't delve any further than that. So I was kind of like, I wonder why that is. Is it because people don't think they're good enough? Are they too busy? Or do they think it's completely pointless? And a few sort of responses on Twitter said, well, I don't think it would actually lead to any work. But the problem is, you know, the problem with, because I do PR, and the problem I've always had with PR is you can't actually sort of say that directly led to this. That coverage in that magazine directly led to that client picking up the phone and choosing you. But it's part of an ongoing machine, isn't it? So you put in a story on Instagram and then sort of maybe tweeting about it and then maybe sending out a newsletter to an existing database of clients. They will probably say, oh yeah, and then they go, oh yeah, I must get in touch with Craig, and then they might see you in creative review and they'll go, oh yeah, we've got to pick up the phone and talk to him. And that's how it kind of works. So it's like it's not kind of necessarily a very direct thing, but it's a kind of,
it's an accumulation. Like I remember, like even with case studies, when I finish a kind of big project, I've got a list of design blogs, magazines who I will hit up with projects, and from sending those kind of projects out there, maybe none of them get picked up, and that's fine, but you build a relationship. Maybe it's like, it's not maybe right for this time or this issue we're putting out or whatever reasons, and that's fine. It's not to say that the work's not good. It just maybe doesn't fit in that current kind of time. But you never know when it might get picked up. And I've had work on blogs from Asia to Australia to America, and then clients have said, oh, I've seen it on this website. And I'm like, I don't even know what that website is. Because what happens is when it goes out onto the internet and it gets out there in that wild field, that it picks up in different areas and other blogs pick it up from other blogs, and then it just manifests. And it's crazy how it kind of transpires that way. And like, it's weird how I always ask clients now, like, so what made you come about my work and stuff like that? And they say, oh, it came from this. So I always ask that as a good tool for me to figure out what works.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's having that kind of consistent force, but you're very clever to ask clients how they heard about you, so you can maybe sort of focus on that one thing, or maybe sort of, reassess where you're sort of putting all your energy and resource.
On that note, maybe 2 years ago, it was inquiries from clients, or we ended up leading to projects, and I asked the question, like I'm quite bold, and I just think, like, just no harm in asking. But they told me they found me through LinkedIn. It was content through LinkedIn. And at that time, I was like, I don't use it enough. And then I started to look more into LinkedIn and saw it as a magnificent tool to connect with directly with brands and agencies across the world. And I just thought, I'm going to double down on this, because I've been using Instagram, I've been using Twitter, and I think they're fantastic platforms. They're great to connect with other creatives, but I wasn't necessarily getting that, I don't know, the traction for projects. Maybe one or two comes in every so often, which is good, but I felt like from those clients, it was like 3 projects off the back of each other come from LinkedIn. So I thought, I'm going to double down on this. So for the past 2 years, I've been heavily investing in LinkedIn. And what I mean by that is connecting with the right people who are in agencies and brands I would love to work with, connect with them, send them a message like saying how much I love what they're doing, and just connect on a human level and just saying hello. I'm not going to let's work together right away. I'm not selling, but just making a genuine connection. And then from that, it builds and builds and builds, because I've had maybe a connection I had maybe a year and a half ago, and now I'm working with them now, because I'm constantly putting out, I put out one piece of content a week on LinkedIn, and I make sure that content
You make me
good.
feel anxious, because I'm like, oh God, it's Craig again. He's doing an amazing job. He's smashing it.
But this is the trick, right? So if you're putting on one great piece of content, I always do this, I'll even give you a tip. Tuesday mornings, 8:30 in the morning, right? Every Tuesday at 8:30, I put out a piece of content. And then from all those connections and relationships you build, there's almost like, I don't know, a relationship has been built. So they want to like your work. So when they like it, it shares onto their network.
Yeah,
so
it's powerful.
I could put on a piece of content from, say, today.
Yeah.
And then it will last. I'll get likes until the following Tuesday.
Yeah.
It'll continue on. Whereas LinkedIn and Instagram are very, very short. It's more or less hours, if not days, or one day of getting a kind of traction. Whereas the power of LinkedIn, it continues on.
Yes.
So it maybe looks as if I'm doing a lot, whereas it's more
making the rest
traction.
of us look bad.
It's good quality content.
That's a really good tip.
That's the key to it. I think rather than doing like 3 posts a day and constantly putting stuff out, I always think like, if it was me, like I would do my nutting if I was seeing someone else constantly doing that. So I try not to annoy people.
Yeah.
I try to make sure whatever content I put out is good quality, and then from that it builds traction. And
you're lucky though. You're lucky because everything you do is very visual, and you can create this amazing content around the stories that you make.
Yep.
So for somebody like me that does things with words, it can be quite difficult having a similar impact. So I've always been very jealous of. Maybe that's why I started Creative Boom, so I could have that magic rub off on me.
I think the beauty about Creative Boom is everyone knows it's you.
Yeah.
And I think that's got a beauty in itself because we're all personally connected with you, and we then we're personally connected with Creative Boom and the brand.
That's interesting.
And that's almost like a brand loyalty. And I love that personal connection. There's other design blogs out there, but you don't know who you're connecting with.
You know what? This is really nice, and it comes at a great time because about 4 or 5 years ago, somebody said to me, who works in publishing and is very successful, and I won't mention their names. They said to me, you need to stop it being about you because it's not you anymore. And it really kind of threw me and knocked my confidence a little bit. And they sort of said it's a magazine, so it has to be, you have to think of it more professionally and you have to run it more professionally. And if you're going to turn it into a business, if this is the thing that you're passionate about and you want to, you want it to be something that makes you money, because it didn't make any money for the first couple of years that it was going. It was just a side project, what it's like. We're creatives, we get bored and we want to do something, and it's nice to give back.
Yep.
So for a while, for the last sort of probably up until very recently, actually, it's just been, well, we're actually a team now, which we are, but we're going to not make it about me. And I think that's a good thing. But I think when I decided I was going to do this podcast, what I realised was one of the things that maybe made Creative Boom approachable in the first place is that it had somebody behind it. And that's not me being egotistical or big-headed. It's just maybe that was why it was approachable. And as it's grown, it's sort of changed and it's become this big thing that's no longer just me. So I was kind of like, when I launch this podcast, how am I going to do it? Am I going to say we the team, we Creative Boom, or shall I just embrace the fact that actually I'm the founder and editor and I run this whole thing, and and just maybe add a bit more personality into it. So that's quite nice. That's reassuring to hear you say that. Yeah,
and it's true. But the one thing is like you bring other people along. I don't see it just directly you. I see it's you, like you're saying, you've got a team of people now, and you bring them along this journey. They are part of Creative Boom. It's not you're just saying it's Katie Cowan, I'm doing a podcast. It's the Creative Boom podcast.
It's grown.
But it's just good to have a human connection with someone, with a brand, and I think that's so important. I think there's a lot of brands are starting to do that more now, and that's why I'm fortunate to be working with certain brands across the world now, because they want to connect with Craig Black and my personality, and I'm like, this is bonkers. I'm just a guy from just outside Glasgow, and it's just weird, but it's a human interaction, and people want to connect with human beings, right? And I think that's really important, and I think it works really well. It's
easy to forget that actually business is about people.
Yeah.
And people just want to work with nice people.
Yeah. On that note as well, like when I first started out, I knew I had to do networking, right, as part of business.
Yeah.
And I would walk in a room. This was in London, actually. I would walk into a room, and I know it was like the big wig of some design agency or a brand or whatever, and I would get really hesitant and scared to go speak to them.
Sure.
And I kind of put them on a pedestal. I said, they're too good for me to speak to. And I remember going home, and I spoke to my old man, he's a great guy, and he's getting no creativity at all. He's just a plumber, just a general normal lad. And he said to me, Craig, don't ever put anyone on a pedestal. He said, no one's ever better than you. They're just the exact same. They're just a human being.
Yeah.
And no matter what, they were probably in your shoes at one point. He says, so don't be afraid to go speak to them. And it kind of switched in my head. And I was like, okay. So I remember going to the next networking event, you could say. And I remember just charged. That's like a total Scottish term, charged up to someone. I walked up to someone and I just said, hey, how you doing? I'm Craig. And just started a conversation. And then they loved the fact that I was brave enough to come and speak to them, because not many people do it.
Yeah.
Another thing as well, like I'm side tangent here, but I think networking and building relationships is the key for a successful business, a creative business, personally.
Yeah. It is.
And going meeting people face to face. So from that one moment, my old man said that to me, like I've never hesitated to go and speaking to big wigs at big brands or whatever. Like I'll go knock on doors, I'll bust through doors if I have to and say, hey, how you doing? Because at the end of the day, the worst case scenario would be they just ignore you and you move on and you just go, well, fuck you, I'm moving on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's the worst that can happen.
But 9 times out of 10, they're all incredibly nice human beings. And then if
9.8 times out of 10.
Correct. And then, but from that, you build a relationship and they'll go, oh, I've got a friend who does this, it might work for you, or it might lead to this. Like all these opportunities occur from building relationships.
Yeah.
And that's been a big thing for me in the past 4 or 5 years, is building relationships with people, which has led to opportunities.
You're so good at doing it as well, because everybody knows about you. And in Manchester, everybody knows about you. And you've got a big name in London. You kind of went down there for a little bit. You went down that traditional route, didn't you? You left college in Glasgow and you went to London where the work was. What year was that?
So I graduated in 2013, left Glasgow. It was Cardonal College. It's now got a new name, can't remember. But I went straight to London, as you do, because you feel like London's the best place to be, and that's where I'm going to make it as a designer, or whatever you want to define that. But I went to 2 design jobs there. But since graduation, I had the mindset, I knew exactly what I wanted to become, and it was always to be an independent designer specialising in typography and lettering. I knew that from the instant I left that college. I knew exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew I had to get experience. I had to work with other people to gain knowledge about different forms of design and even the experience in typography and lettering. So I went into these design agencies, but every evening and weekend, and I was practicing typography and lettering, like constantly building on my craft. And on a junior designer salary in London, I'm not making much at all. I couldn't survive to do anything else anyway. So I just thought I'm going to practice, because I looked at the long-term game, which was to become this independent. And to do that, I had to build obviously my craft and my skill set to be known in this field. So for about 2.5 years, probably 3 years, no one knew who I was. I was just churning out personal project after personal project. And then all of a sudden, I think it was probably at the time that you first kind of helped me got my work out there with Creative Boom. And then it slowly just kind of manifested into a few projects here and there. And then out of nowhere, I was like, I was working in an agency at the time, and I was working kind of freelance doing the type and lettering stuff. And it was like 2 full-time jobs. Yeah. And it would just crush me. The time was just too much. And I was in London. I was working from this little cabin in London, in North London, which was actually my bedroom as well. So I was effectively working all the time there. So in the evenings, blah, 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 doing this job, it was just too much to take. And I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to be an independent designer. Like, there was just something deep within me saying, my gut instinct, just go for it.
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen?
What's the worst could happen?
It's a slogan.
But at that time, I had no savings. I had probably 2.5 years experience, 3 years experience in the design field. So I don't know if there's a right or wrong to say when you should be an independent. And usually people say, oh, I read it. They say 10, exactly. And that was the thing for me. I was reading blogs and they were saying you need 10, 15 years before you can go do this. And I thought, fuck it, I'm going to go do it now and just see what happens. And I managed to go out, started freelancing at first and just to get money in the door.
Yeah.
But when I was speaking to these agencies, I was like, my focus is on type and lettering. So most of the time I was getting that kind of work. And then I started to get my own clients at that time, it was it was slow burner. Like, it was
Yeah.
hard work, and there was a lot of challenging times being in London, and especially because my wife, my family and friends were all back up the road in Scotland. And at that time when I started my own, saying independence, I started my own business in London. I was effectively in this little cabin 24 hours a day, and it wasn't healthy at all.
No, I bet not.
And I just...
Did you get burnt out?
Oh, yeah, I did big time. I got burnt out with obviously the work, the stress of starting your own business, and I just didn't enjoy the London anymore. I was over the honeymoon period. I missed it. I missed the fresh air of Scotland and the water and stuff like that. I just missed my pals, missed my wife and family and friends. So,
were you married at the time?
No. Ali was. We were seeing each other. And when was it? She's going to kill me for this. I'm not even going to say the date.
You're put on the spot now.
I know, big time.
For women everywhere.
6 years ago. So around about that time we started dating, and.
So you had a long distance relationship?
Yeah, but Ali actually moved to London like for me, but she got, in a sense, she's a mental health nurse and she works in the prison, the local prison in her hometown.
Right.
But she got headhunted for a position at, what's the name of it's based in Reading, big famous prison there, can't remember. But basically she got headhunted to go to work there and thought, like, let's make this work. I'm down here, you're just in Reading, we can try and make this work. And she lasted 2 or 3 months, and the only reason for that is because it was a horrible environment for her.
Oh.
It was quite unsafe, and she was hoping to make friends down there in terms of the workplace, and there just wasn't any people the same age as her.
Yeah.
And she was working like 4 days on, and then the rest of the day she was coming straight to me in London. So I just felt she was just really unhappy, and I was obviously unhappy seeing her unhappy. So
yeah, it made sense for her to go back.
And at that time, I was starting to have all the same feelings anyway. So I kind of sent her packing back up to Scotland. And I always remember this. I said, I'll be back in 3 months, right?
Oh.
And then...
That's very romantic as well.
It was a big decision because at that point in a relationship, I was like, if we were going to be serious, I need to make this kind of serious move.
Yeah.
So say it was the Monday, I was like, I'll be back in 3 months. Then the next day was Tuesday, and I was like, I'll be back in 3 weeks. And then the Wednesday came and went, fuck it, I'm leaving now. I remember hiring a van, packing my stuff, and drove up to Scotland. And within those 3 days, and that was it.
And the rest is history.
I went back home, started up again in home studio, and been going ever since.
And you've been there, what, 4 years now?
4 years, yes, been back home.
That's amazing. So you've been working for yourself during that whole time. You're living by the seaside, is that right?
Yeah, it's a little coastal town. So where I stay, it's a beautiful little town called Gourock. It's about 45 minutes away from Glasgow. Like, my house is like 100 yards from this beautiful promenade. Don't get wrong, you still get your shitty Scottish weather and it's pissing down with rain and stuff like that, but it's home, and it's one of those kind of places. It's dead cheesy. Like, you go walk on the promenade and there's a total stranger and you say good morning to them and you have a conversation. Good morning. Yeah, it's one of those kind of cheesy places, and I love that. Like, but it's home for me, and that's the biggest thing about all of this is I believe that happiness is the key to life, and it's a key to a successful creative business as well. Because if I wasn't happy, I wasn't producing the best work I could possibly do. And that is a huge reflection from my time in London to where I'm at now.
Yeah.
I like to say I'm the happiest I've ever been.
That's great.
In fact, I'm the happiest I've ever been because I just found out I'm going to be a dad for the very first time.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you very much. So that, as well as getting married last year and everything that's going on, I'm just over the moon. So, but because all these things that happen in my personal life affects my professional life, and it's all one for me. It's not like a separation, and I'm a big believer in that. Like, it needs to be, you need to be happy in life to produce the best work. That's my point of view.
You've got to get that bit sorted out before you can have that, and you've kind of learnt that the hard way by going to London, and but then you wouldn't have got to that point had you not gone through that pain.
I don't regret anything at all. I do not regret one thing.
Would you like to sing that for us? In French?
Yeah. My French is terrible. But yeah, like, even the experience in London that has hugely benefited me. Hugely benefited me, and even just the how to deal with running a business and connecting with people and the intensity of the work and stuff like that set me in good stead. And now when I run my own business, I probably run at the same intensity, but on my own
boss.
timescale in my own level and knowing how to deal with it all.
And are you better at balancing now?
Yeah, like it's a huge thing down my wife actually. So that probably about 2 or 3 years ago, we bought our flat. Bought our beautiful home, and the whole idea was that the spare bedroom would turn into my home studio.
Right.
So what was happening was I was getting in there and working, and I tend to crazy work late into the night. And then when Ali was coming home from work, I was like, too busy, need to work. And it was having a little effect on us. And she kind of pulled me aside and says, listen, this isn't happening. She laid down the rules. So she says, I want to try this. She says, I want you to try this. And it is, when I get in from work at 4:45, your MacBook goes down, and that is you finished for the day. And then in the evenings, we don't talk about work, we don't do all this stuff. We go on and spend time together as a family, and we go see family and friends, do whatever we want to do away from stuff. And at first I was like, nah, it's not going to happen because I'm so busy. I've got so much to do. Yeah. I've always got to do it.
Got to make your LinkedIn post.
Yeah, and that was all these stresses. But that was a huge change in my life, and actually for the best, because what happened was I start work at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning till 4:45 when she comes in. My productivity levels are sky high because of that.
That's incredible.
When she comes in, it's game over. Like literally, it's game over, and I still do it to this day. So in that time frame from say 10 to 4:45, I am purely focused on the task at hand. I don't fuck about. I don't like go nonsense things on social media and just mess about. I just make sure every task that needs to be done, I execute the best I can possibly do. And see, no matter what, how much I can get done in that time, they're always going to be work the next day. So I've learned to deal with that and just accept it. And even like I speak openly to my clients about this as well. Like if they were pushing me, I'd be like, listen, there's only so much I can do, and then tomorrow I'll pick up again tomorrow. And I'll explain, like, the more I continue working during the night, it says I'll not be able to craft this designing by hand because I'll get cramp in my hands and I'll get tired and fatigued, and it's not going to be a high level. I need to rest. And see, it sounds pretty crazy, but when I speak with clients and even agencies, like, I've been really honest and transparent about all these things and the amount of time I can have, and it's hugely benefited me because they understand my process and I understand their process, and I understand we've got deadlines and stuff like that, and I'll work when necessary. Like if I need to do an extra few hours a night, of course I'm going to do that. And I've got international clients, I need to do Skype calls at like 7, 8 o'clock at night. I need to ask for a permission slip of the missus, but it's fine because I'll make sure that it goes back to time that I spend with Ali, because it's been a very long time since I worked a weekend. Very long time.
That's amazing.
But it's hugely down to Ali implementing that into me. And I want to stress that to creatives that actually implementing these rules, because you find yourself being much more productive and focusing on what you need to get done. Because I remember when I was in an agency, I fucked about so much. Like I did. Like you do a bit of art, you go on a website, and then 9 times I used to go into Sky Sports all the time, just look at football stuff, like even though I should be looking at design stuff. And
I think I planned some of my wedding on somebody else's time once years ago. But
sorry about that. It happens more and more in the agency world. So from that experience, I just made sure that I'm not going to fall for that. I mean, when you're running your own business, you're like, I need to pay the bills. So there's no time for fucking about.
There's no one who's going to, pick things up for you.
Exactly. So you got to take that responsibility, and that mindset and change for me has radically changed my output. And it's funny because a lot of people go, how do you find time to do all this? I'm saying, well, I structure my days. Like I'm very disciplined and focused and what needs to be done. Like my calendar is like for the next, I don't know, the rest of the year is I've got certain dates planned out and projects planned out, and I need to make sure that I'm hitting those days and times and it's all aligned for, because being an independent designer, I don't have a project manager or anybody else to rely on. It's all me, so I need to make sure I'm on top of things as much as possible. Don't get wrong, when the big projects come in, I bring in other teammates or suppliers or freelancers, whoever, to help facilitate. Of course I do. But when it's on my own stuff, like I need to be on top of that. And I'm learning every single day. It's just making sure that I'm on top of everything. And I found it not, I guess, easier. It's just find it much more streamlined and I'm just much more efficient in knowing what times of day I'm better at designing a piece of lettering, or I'm better at doing emails later in the afternoon because I'm getting a bit tired or whatever. So it's just finding out what works for you. But these are the things that work for me, and it's it's doing well so far. I
can
think.
imagine you have a routine. You get up, you get dressed.
Oh, yeah.
Do you go to the gym first? Or
Oh
do you...
yeah. So I said the routine is I get up at 6:30. I go to the gym. Then I come back. I get showered, changed. More or less with the same gear. If I'm working from home, I wear the same gear every day.
Saves money.
Yeah, same joggy bottoms, same hoodie. And then I'll have my porridge, my peanut bar, and all that stuff. And then before you know it, I'm into work by 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then it's when I have my lunch as well. Another little tip, see when I have my lunch as well, right? I just take my mind off all design stuff. I watch Netflix for half an hour.
Nice.
Whatever it be. I've been watching Friends non-stop. And
Friends is a warm comfort thing, isn't it?
It is. It just, sometimes the stupidity of it just breaks away from the tension of doing work, especially when you get a deadline.
Yeah.
So a big thing that I've done is see when I've got like a huge deadline on and you're like, oh shit, I need to get this done. I set alarms on my phone to saying, step away, like walk away, go for a walk.
Yeah.
Go watch. I've got a bunch of go a walk, go to the gym, or watch Friends. That's the 3 alarms I've got, and that's been another hugely beneficial thing. So there's been times when I'm under the hammer of the time of getting this project done, but I need to take a break away from it because
you have to.
You need to, and you need to reflect on the work as well. So this is when I get some fresh air. And it's especially working from home, like you can get so caught up in just being in the house all the time. And then you go,
forget to eat and you can forget to go to the toilet. And
so even these alarms just get off of my phone going, go do this, go do that. It has really benefited me. And then sometimes like doing that has hugely benefited me.
Yeah, because it's so easy to fall into bad habits. I mean, I came back after Christmas having had 2 weeks off, which was really nice. Mm-hmm. Really enjoyed the time with family, especially with everything that's been going on lately. And it was really hard to get back into work. And then I just sort of fell into bad habits where I was sort of getting up and not getting dressed. And I was like, okay, well, I won't have a shower. I'll stay in my pajamas until about, say, 10:30, because I'd normally get up. I'm normally at my desk for 7 o'clock, which is, the way it goes with something like Creative Boom. And I'll go, right, okay, so I'll go on the bike at 10:30, then I'll have a shower because my hair needs washing, and then I'll get dressed, and then I'll get to like 6 o'clock in the evening and I'll be like, oh my God, I'm still in my pajamas. This is gross. So I have started implementing things again because I think we have our ups and downs, don't we? Mm-hmm. The other thing I've introduced recently, which is wonderful and it's working really well, I've called it, I might trademark it, the 3 halves.
Ooh.
Yeah, so 3 half hours a day of 3 different things that you're hoping to do. And it could be anything. So for me, it's like half an hour of exercise, half an hour of piano practice.
Right.
What was the other thing? I can't remember what the other one was. I've only just started it, so...
And how's it going so far?
Half an hour of exercise, half an hour of piano practice. What was the other half? Oh, I can't remember now. That's hilarious. Maybe it was like to go outside and get, half an hour of reading.
Right.
Because I'm not been reading many books recently because I'm just too busy.
Printed books, like
actual printed books. Yeah, I have got a Kindle.
I think that's good. Yeah.
I have got a Kindle, but Tom and I, my husband, we always buy books as well. Partly because we love supporting, the industry. Mm-hmm. And also just, I love a book.
Yeah.
I love it, the smell of a book.
Same,
yeah. So I'm implementing that and it's working. And actually what I found is I'm doing an hour of exercise, an hour of reading, maybe more, an hour of piano practice, an hour and a half, which is hilarious and fun. And you just feel amazing, don't you? Because you've just achieved this very simple thing. Mm-hmm. But as humans, if we don't have a boss to tell us what time we need to be in to go in and sit in front of a computer, we can just spiral out of control, can't we? So
yeah, I think that like one of the things I always look back on is learning to see what you've achieved as well, and kind of congratulating yourself.
100%.
And I don't think enough people do this.
No,
like I'm a huge believer in doing this. Like whenever say it's a big project or whatever, and you've worked so hard on it, like I think there's time to even just sit back and reflect. Give yourself a pat in the back, and even like what I tend to do is I buy a pair of trainers just to treat myself, or go for a nice meal, and then maybe take a day or so off, even a day off, just to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And then I'll get back in the swing of things. Like I always, prior to that, I maybe implemented that a couple of years ago. I was at Ali again. Ali doing these small wee things for me, which is brilliant, but. you used to finish a project and go, right, I need to go on to the next one because I need to get this, I need to do more, and you're not actually analysing and seeing how well you're actually been doing.
Yeah.
Like we always get caught up in the immediate, and I've started to kind of make sure to stepping away from it and looking at, look what I've achieved in a year. Look what I've achieved in the past 2 years. And obviously, like starting your creative business and starting like your own business or whatever, like it's such an amazing thing to look back and say,
Yeah.
I've done this.
Yeah, because sometimes you're right. A lot of us don't. I haven't really with Creative Boom. When people say to me, and I've never met them before, oh, I know about Creative Boom. Oh, wow, I know about Creative Boom. Who are you? I find it bizarre. It's just this little thing that I do. But yeah, you're right. It is important to take a step back and go, well, actually, that's pretty cool. I should be proud of myself.
Yeah.
But is it a British thing to like?
I think so. I always one of the things I always speak about is being proud. Like I'm extremely proud of myself, and I'm not ashamed to say it either. Of what I've achieved in a very short space of time in my career and stuff like that, because I feel like if I can be proud and showcase that to the world, then it gives light on to others to do the same.
Yeah.
Because if you see someone out there who is maybe showcasing what they can do, then it gives someone else the right to do that as well and and give them the confidence. The amount of times that I've said that and spoke to people and they've went away and they've showcased it to even their mum and dads and to showcase, I've done this illustration, or I've showcased it to my agency or client or brand or to the world, and it's led to amazing opportunities or even just to a happy situation. It's just being proud of yourself, and I think that's an important thing, because as a British mentality, you just don't do it because you're either seen as full of shit or kind of
like you're being egotistical or showing off, which is,
there's a fine line, obviously, and there is a lot of bloody egos. I think there's a lot of egos.
I've been going around recently saying, "Oh, I'm brilliant. I'm a genius." No, I know what you mean.
It's the way you go across. I think it's the way you project it as well.
You can be humble. You can be humble, but you can. Yeah, it's about having confidence. There's a difference.
Totally, and I'm grateful for every opportunity that comes my way, and I say thank you to every single person. It's like this opportunity right now, be on this podcast. I'm hugely grateful for.
Thank you.
But I know there's a lot of people who just expect things, and there's I can do this, I can do that, and I don't believe in that. I'm a big believer in gratitude and visualization and all those kind of meditation, all those kind of things that I've implemented in my life, and that's mindset and that positivity is hugely, radically changed my life. And last year was the best year of my life. It really has, and I totally believe it's down to all these kind of mental well-being and gratitudes and affirmations and all these things that I've been doing over the past 2 or 3 years.
That's
100%.
Awesome. So like having these goals and having this discipline and making sure you do these things, it's all just made you really happy.
It's honestly, it's manifested for me. Like so in my home studio, so on the wall, I've got my goals I've got daily goals, I've got monthly goals, and I've got yearly goals from year 1, year 3, year 5, and year 10. And on each one, I've got 4 goals on each. And every morning, and I've also got positive affirmations on the wall.
Great.
Just things like saying, I am great, and I am powerful, I am grateful, all these kind of things. And it's super cheesy, it is. And I was like, if you know my background, like, if knowing I was saying this about 10 years ago, I'd be like, fuck off, Craig, that's not cool at all.
We'll come to that.
Yeah, but doing these things like every morning, if we're talking about the routine, like my routine is to say these affirmations, my goals out loud into the universe, and I believe in all this kind of manifestation. And I literally, one of the things all the things I've manifested that genuinely have, and one of the other things was to work from my home studio, working with international clients across the world, being able to travel and do work across the world, and also start a family.
Yeah.
And also to work with one of my dream clients. And I've literally just finished working with my dream client. And honestly, like,
are you allowed to say who?
I can't yet. But if all I can say is it's football and it's typography, and I'm buzzing about it.
Look at your face. He's staring at the ceiling and his eyes are sparkling.
It was one of the most surreal moments ever when I found this out. I remember getting into the meeting and I had no idea who it was or what it was about.
Quite hush-hush.
And I walked in and I saw the name of the client on the screen, and I automatically said, fuck off. in excitement, like a big smile, and everyone just turned and started laughing at me. And I didn't know anyone in the room. I was just like, oh my God, is this real? And they're like, yep. And I was like, oh my God.
My God.
I had this meeting, right? And it was like 2 hours long, and I was just engrossed in it all. And then I remember sitting in my car, and I got overwhelmed with emotion. I literally burst into tears.
Oh.
Just so happy and so proud of myself, like this happened. And I've been thinking about this, I've been manifesting it all for years and years and years. And it's finally came to fruition. And I remember phoning, or if it's saying I had to phone my dad, I had my mum, phone my brother. I'm like, what if there's one brand in this world that you could relate to, we could all relate to, who would it be? And they said it out loud. I'm like, that's it, I'm working with them. And
oh
so
my God.
I've been working with them.
So proud.
Like, I don't think it's going to really hit me until it gets out there. And I'm super proud of the work that I've done. I gave my heart and soul into it, so I hope everyone likes it.
I'm sure they will.
But no, the client absolutely loves it, so I'm delighted with it. And it will be released next season.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's a few hints.
So that's a few hints. But yeah, it's like even last year and all that, just all that manifestation has come to life. So I need to try and keep that going for this year as much as possible. But yeah, I do believe in all those things. I really do.
It's really inspiring. I mean, you're inspiring me, and you'll be inspiring everybody that listens. I mean, especially because we do have our moments of darkness, don't we? And we all have our ups and downs. And I'm kind of on the up again at the moment, although you know what life's like, so I'm going to try and find somewhere to touch wood. It's lovely, and it's really inspiring and fills me with lots of hope. So has it always been that way for you?
No.
Okay.
There's been so many challenging and dark times as well. It's not all positive and all singing and dancing. But I do believe that my mindset now is when a negative moment comes is how quickly I can deal with that situation and turn it into a positive.
That's exactly it.
And that's been a game changer.
It's having the toolkit, isn't it?
Yeah. Like a simple, like just to put in a context for a designer or illustrator, for instance, is maybe when you get approached by a client or a brand and you're about to do this project and out of nowhere it falls and it doesn't happen, or it decides to go on a different route and you're devastated by it. And
it can knock you over,
and it can knock you over. And so I remember this happened to me about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I had 4 projects on the go at the one time, and it was 4 of them big monster projects. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to do this? But for some reason, the 4 of them just didn't happen. It just there was various reasons. One was like pivoted in a different direction. One of them didn't go ahead. One of them get delayed, and I can't remember the other one. And it all happened at one time, and it was. You know what it's like, you think of the money in your head, go, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that, or it's going to keep me going for the next year or whatever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it all fell away and I was like, fuck. And I was low for like half a day, and then I thought, right, why should, like, don't dwell on this, like, just turn this into a positive, just think on the next, like, move forward. Because the more you dwell on it, what's that going to do? It's not going to get you any better.
It's wasted
energy.
Yeah.
So I quickly just kind of changed that mindset. But if that was me maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I probably would have been sitting dwelling about that for bloody weeks.
Gone into a big horrible pit of despair.
Yeah, I just try to tell people, like, when those situations occur, and whether it's a client or anything in life, like, just try not dwell on it too much and try and think more positively.
Yeah,
and think about the most amazing things that you've gone in your life as well.
Which is why you have all those things on your wall to kind of constantly, give yourself that reassurance.
And that sounds cheesy, but it's even been doing positive affirmations, saying them out loud, it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
And it puts a stupid smile on my face. And
that's great though.
It is, and I love sharing this with the world, because if you asked me, maybe Craig Black, maybe 7-10 years ago when I was a young lad, like, saying these things, I'd be like, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I was a bit of a tough nut or whatever back in...
Bravado of youth.
Exactly, yeah. So I think I was maturing over the years, and like, life experiences led to these moments. So, but all these little things is an accumulation of where I want to go and where I see myself being and where I'm currently at right now. So it's it's an amazing journey, and don't get me wrong, I still get the challenges every single day as anybody else, but it's how quickly you deal with the challenges and how you want to try to turn that negative into a positive. That's the way it's
I
worked
love
for me.
that. And I suppose you must have little moments where you just have to, you probably get quite emotional, I imagine, where you're just like, wow, I'm here, I'm doing these amazing things.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've kind of had that recently as well. I don't do positive affirmations, but instead I you know how we all have the witch or the monkey on our back, you know, whatever it is. Is it the monkey on the back? It's a weird expression.
I know what you're talking about though, like the kind of
it's that kind of
voice.
gremlin that's sort
yeah.
of saying all these weird things to you. So
gremlin.
the gremlin, the witch. And I kind of just think I've been kind of like turning around to that voice over the last year and saying, oh, be quiet, you know, just be quiet. I mean, we can be if we allow ourselves to be. We can be really hard on ourselves and not give ourselves the same care and love as we do other people. And when you realise that, and it might take some of us, you know, well, I don't know how old you are now.
I'm 32. No,
Right,
I'm
so
32, am I 31?
you're
I think I'm going to be 32 this year. I think so.
Yeah, wow. Well, I'm 41 and it's, you know, taken me a while, but I finally kind of conquered that demon, that voice. And I'm just like, Katie, you're doing really well, mate.
Yeah.
You're doing really well.
Do you know what's another good thing to do as well is to talk to other people?
Yes.
Obviously, my partner, Alison, she's incredible. And even I'll be long days on my own. And whether it's stress from projects or clients, whatever, and just being able to talk it out, and then she kind of relays it back going, well, is it really that bad? And then go, not really. But whether it's friends or family, like I speak to my friends as well about personal issues or whatever, and just talking that out has hugely helped.
Yeah.
Whereas I keep saying, like previously, and that kind of bravado person usually just keep it in. And
is that a bloke thing though? Scottish sort of
maybe,
upbringing,
yeah,
maybe?
like,
I don't know.
I'll tell, like even my big brother, right? My big brother's a hard man. He's a tough guy, but he's lovely and soft inside. But he has this kind of bravado, and even when he's seen his wee brother being very emotional and being very positive and all this stuff, it's opened him up. And even our conversations now is evolved rather than like, fuck up, you're my big brother, shut up, you know, like typical brother conversations. But that's really helped in him, and just in opening up a little bit more. And he's now engaging to Claire, and he's like speaking away to Claire and stuff like that. So it really does help by speaking out, because it gives, I keep saying, it gives light on to others to do the same. Like, I've got friends now, like good close friends who are non-design industry, who are now talking to me about various issues, and it's a
relatively
offloading.
new thing, isn't it, for men?
It is, and it's massive. It's massive. But
it's great.
It's just been done long time ago, and it's stupidity to think that it was a bravado thing. Like it's just a sign of weakness.
It's the messages from society, isn't it, that we're given, and it's like, you know, you're a man, you can't cry, you've got to be strong, man up, all this kind of.
It's fucking bullshit.
It's rubbish, isn't it?
It is bullshit, and it's like social media now is become. Can be such a horrible place, as we know with various news things that have happened of late, and people's lives and stuff like that, which is just devastating to think. But
it can sometimes feel that the world really is like that. But when you kind of mix in your own circles and you go out into the world, you realise that, you know, quite a lot of people are just genuinely lovely people who want to do good in the world, and that is the thing to. It's like another affirmation of mine to remember constantly, that the majority of people want to love, want to get, you know, just have a good life, maybe have a family, maybe not, excuse me, and just be happy, and if they're lucky enough to do something they love for a living, and so it can sometimes feel very negative in that world, but it's good to remind ourselves
totally 100%.
it's nice that men are talking as well.
No, we do. We just need to do more of it, to be honest.
I talk a lot to my parents. I've got quite a nice relationship with them, but me and my dad do this really weird thing where he goes really high pitched and I go really high pitched. It's just this kind of British awkward thing that we do. So I'll go, see you, love you, bye, and he'll go, see you, love you, bye. And it's really quite sweet.
Even when I talk to my mum, like, it's as if I'm a wee boy again.
Yeah.
I'm a full grown man, but sometimes when I'm talking to my mum, like, I'm not afraid to open up and be that inner child again and open up with my feelings and stuff like that. And that helps as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm not afraid of that, and I'm a very passionate person, and
That's lovely though.
and
Are you really
I
close
do.
to them and
Yeah, I'm
see
really
them all
close
the
to Mum.
time?
Yeah. Every Monday night, she makes me a big feast for my dinner.
Oh really?
Yeah. Every Monday night. So, she made me a vindaloo last night. So it was
Nice. I'm surprised
I've
you're here.
I've got some in my bag, so I can take on the train on the way back up.
That's brilliant. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And what was your sort of childhood like then? What did your mum and dad do for a living? And
Oh, well, so my mum was a hairdresser. She still is a hairdresser. My dad's a plumber, stayed in London. So I grew up, it was me, my brother and my mum. I had a brilliant childhood. So much fun. I was outside all the time.
Yeah.
Like playing football obviously was the main thing. Playing hide and seek, building tree huts.
Same.
I loved that. Honestly, and I feel...
Sounds
I
idyllic.
kind of feel sorry for kids now who don't get to experience that.
Yeah.
I loved it. I remember we used to make zip slides from huge trees with like washing line and thinking it was safe.
Yeah.
And then you go down it and it would snap halfway through it, and then you would land on some sort of old cushion that's lying on the ground. Like when I grew up, it was like a tenement. And it was like a big, large square.
Oh, right.
On the back of it was like back greens. So there was huge, like lots of kids, but there was this kind of wasteland, and at the time we called it the jungle.
The jungle.
But it felt massive at the time. It was really tiny, but it had trees and wasteland and stuff. And we used to just have so much fun.
Build ramps.
Building, just causing chaos as well, and having so much fun. And I loved that. And then growing up, like just having that experience just set me in good stead. And I want my kids to go through that, but now it's a different society. Things have changed. And I hope things like that still go on. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And to be like, I used to draw bits and pieces here and there, but most of the time I was outside
just out playing.
I was out playing, kicking a ball about.
Until your parents sort of came out. My dad would come out to the end of the bottom of the road, because we used to play football on the bumpy, we called it the bumpy field. And he'd come out and he'd stand at the bottom of this road, which was sort of, you know, he was quite far back, and he'd just put his hands on his hips. And I'd just look at the rest of the lads and go, I've got to go for my tea, see you later. And run off.
So from across the street is the big massive park. So we would be playing football there for ages, and I would hear my mum from the window shouting, Craig, is that your dinner's ready? And I'm like, 5 minutes. She's like, get up here now. I'm like, right, boys, need to go. Ball under the arm, climb over the wall, up to the house for my dinner. And that was routine. That was routine for years.
That's lovely.
And I wouldn't have changed it for the world. Honestly, I wouldn't have changed it.
We had a big field near us, because where I grew up, there was like a university campus.
Yeah.
So they had loads of fields for rugby and football, and obviously they weren't on there all the time. So us kids would sort of go and play in the there was a similar sort of weird kind of dirt ground bit, which we turned into kind of a BMX trail.
Cool.
And not that I ever had a BMX. I just had to borrow Nick's. And then there was like this big hedge in the middle of these two fields. And why was it? If you came across some fields, there'd always be like a den. There'd always be some den.
Yeah.
And there'd be like, you know, somebody had put a little kind of old chair in there. And it was all
It was
in
so
this...
dangerous, wasn't it? It was really dangerous, but we somehow just wanted to jump on top of it as well.
Yeah.
Like I remember we made this zip slide. We got this copper wire stuff. I don't know how we got it.
Oh my goodness.
And we zip slided it down. And the whole point of it is to fall off the zip slide into the bush. And I'm like, see, realistically, I could really damage us. But at the time, you're like, that is the coolest thing in the world. Let's do this. And you have all sorts of kids, different ages doing it. And it was just bonkers. I just lived on the edge. I think that's what it was.
We weren't actually allowed on those fields. No, it was really strange. There was a couple of houses. And this is like me at 7 years old. So the memory has probably turned into kind of an embellished story. Mm-hmm. But we were always chased off. This woman would come out, shout at us. We wouldn't go because we were naughty. And then some guy would come in a car and would sort of come out, and we called him. I think it was something like, and my friends Gareth and Nick will probably be able to, and Leon, hello Leon, if they listen. Probably don't. I think we called him Vanderman. Vanderman, this really scary old bloke who probably was only in his 50s, and he came along in this car, and he was just really scary. And if we knew he was coming, we'd get off there faster than
you bolt. Yeah, you run.
faster than you could say tree houses or copper wire, you know. And at one point, because I hung around with loads of boys when I was a kid, and at one point, the 5 mates of mine had managed to get through this hole in the bush onto the road and out onto the housing estate behind.
Right.
And I got stuck. And he put his car, he trapped the hole so I couldn't get out. And the woman was coming up behind me, and this guy was coming round the car, and I just suddenly burst into tears. And all my mates, all the lads were going, Katie, come on, there's another hole down there. And I ran. I was going, whoa. And this guy and this woman were going, who are you? Where do you live? Who are your parents? And I was legging it, got through this little hole in the bush, and bless our hearts, I mean, we were like the Goonies. They were like, come on, because they didn't leave me behind, God love them. And we all ran as fast as we possibly could down this cul-de-sac, which had a sort of little pathway through to another cul-de-sac. And we did that thing with our hands where we would make our hands, you know, when you thought you could run faster, you'd make your hands really flat, and all our little heads were probably pointing up to the sky. And
in your head, you're thinking, I'm going at 100 mile per hour right now. I'm so fast.
I had nightmares about that encounter for years. I don't think we went back on the field after that.
Oh,
Vanderman.
I can understand why. Vanderman. Back for revenge.
Yeah, I feel like it. You know, it's a kind of there's a Vanderman person out there. We could all bring him to justice. You know, there's lots of victims. Anyway, I'm sure he was quite trying to do the right thing. I'm sure we were on private ground, but anyway. So you're in Glasgow, you grew up there, you're working from home, you've got this amazing routine, you've taken over the world, you've been to New York, you've worked for your favourite ever brand. Yeah. I mean, there must be a part of you that thinks, oh gosh, it can't carry on forever. How do you cope with that kind of horrible, I mean, maybe I've just put that voice into your head, but there must be that kind of like little horrible niggle in the back of your mind that's thinking, it can only be down from here. Because I sometimes think that when I've achieved something big.
There is. But I always find there's so much more opportunities out there in the world.
Yeah.
And that drives me.
Yes.
Regardless of it's a big brand, a small brand, I always think there's a beauty in every opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's what's driven me. And something that I started last year was a social enterprise called Creative Inverclyde.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this is based in my kind of home district. So I stay in a place called Gourock, and which is the town, and there's 5 other towns in the district's called Inverclyde. So my creative term would be Creative Inverclyde. So the idea behind it is how I believe that creativity can create social good. And I think it was almost about a year ago. I came back. I was doing a talk in Australia, and I came back. And in Australia, it was in Brisbane specifically, and all the design work or creativity done social good over there. And I thought, that was so fucking amazing. Like, why is this not happening in Scotland? Why is it not happening in my hometown? So I went back home and I thought, I need to do something, because it felt like I was the only graphic designer or designer in the bloody town kind of thing. And I kind of knew there was other people, but I didn't really know them. And I thought, I want to bring these people to life in terms of giving them a platform or giving them a voice or community and seeing what we could do together to make change within the area. So it started off as basically just like a talk event. And originally, I think this one of the guys, Andy, who is now one of the co-founders alongside me, said to me, Craig, why don't you do a talk and tell people what you do and all these kind of amazing things? And I thought, no, not me doing a talk. Why don't I give light to 4 other creatives in the area and let them share their story in the area? So we did that, and it was like a musician, architect, an artist, and another photographer, and just giving them a platform. And I think we got about 25 people turn up, and about majority of it was my family and friends, like just their support.
But that's really encouraging.
It was, but what happened that night sparked something really, really special in me, in the sense of I need to do more, because the people who were at that event came back, this was special, this is amazing, we need this. And I was like, cool, I'll do another one. So I'm a kind of like a person who grabs the bull by the horns and just make things happen. And I just thought, right, I'll put on another event. So it was like 2 or 3 months later, similar aspect, 3 or 4 different people. And we ended up getting like 40 people this time. So it was growing. So, but when I was doing these talks, I was explaining how, I was like kind of hosting it. I went in this kind of rant about how I believe that design and creativity can create social good. And I was explaining it like how a mural can, with even a positive message on it, can brighten someone else's day. Because you never know what they're going through in their life. And if they see this message, whatever it would be, could bring a smile to them, and it could change their day. Simple as that. And we don't have anything like that in my district, or even a lot in Scotland. There's not enough of it. And I was saying that there's different examples across the world. So there's this woman, I can't remember, I think it's in Ecuador, but basically there was lots of potholes in this town in Ecuador, and what she would do is do some fine knitting, colourful knitting, and fill up the hole. And it obviously wouldn't fill a proper pothole, but it was to make awareness of it.
It's the sentiment as well.
Yeah, and it was bringing art to life as well, and through this kind of problem. And then it made the council take knowledge of the potholes and then end up filling it. And then there was a similar aspect in Paris, I believe, and there was like chips and walls, and this guy was going filling up like Lego bricks. It was really, really creative, and the whole aspect was to basically fix the walls.
Yeah.
And I was just showing these examples. But when you do these talks, you never know who's in the audience. And what I didn't realise, there was kind of council members, there was politicians, there was business owners who were in the audience that night. And then I think it was a few weeks later, they were saying, you've onto something special here, whatever it is that you're talking about. Because I had no idea what I was doing, to be honest. Like, I was just saying, creativity can do good, like all these kind of things. But from that night, that second event, it got to a woman called Louise Hunter, who is now one of the co-founders alongside Andrew Bowman, alongside me. So the three co-founders of Creative Inverclyde. She basically reached out to me saying, whatever this is you're building, I am 100% involved in this.
That's great.
And Louise, to give you an idea about Louise, she runs an international event management company across the world, and she works with clients such as New York Times and the French president and all these stuff. And she came to me saying, I want to work with you. It says, there's something. And the thing that caught me off guard was the fact that she said to me, like, see your enthusiasm and your passion to help others, that's just infectious, and I want to help any way possible. And I was like, okay.
It's inspiring.
And so we've now formed this social enterprise, and from that we've now put on various design events, and what was the last one we had? We had up to 150 people, and this is in
150
and
is
this
amazing.
to put this in context, this is like towns. Like I don't know if I've got this statistic correct. I can't even say it's statistic, but it says like 70% of the Scottish population is outside of the major cities such as Glasgow, Edinburgh and Aberdeen. And I thought to myself, who's caring for them in the creative scene?
Yeah.
Like no one really. So what is happening is I put on the event, the last one was 150, and there was people from like kind of coastal towns, all come from far and wide, coming to this event, and it was really special. And what we're doing is a kind of like networking event at the end, and getting people to talk and interact, and it's leading to amazing opportunities. There's people collaborating, there's people are actually working together. There's been 3 people who have started up an agency based off of my like bringing this together.
Just by that nudge.
Yeah, and on top of that is the Scottish Government has been speaking to us now.
Good grief.
Various other like big organisations have wanted to speak to us, and we're wanting to do so this year. We're trying to bring like an Edinburgh Fringe style festival, which is full of comedy acts. It's like a art and culture festival to our small town in Gourock. It's a beautiful high street where like 97% of the shops are independently owned. So we're collaborating with them. So we're trying to think of like having a comedy act and like a newsagents.
That'd be amazing.
And then doing like, there's a play called The Steamy, and we're trying to do it in the Laundrette and stuff like that. So we're trying to put that on in August this year. And another special thing is we've been working with the local prison because that was through Alison, because she wanted me to speak to the prisoners.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a proper context to work with them with. So I spoke to Louise and Andrew about it, and they says, why don't we put on an art exhibition? Because some of the prisoner artwork is outstanding. I mean,
amazing.
Unbelievable work. Now, I remember going in and doing this workshop with these guys, and it was 12 males. And at first it was quite cagey, as you can imagine.
Because of you?
Because of me. But the thing is that all these kind of guys, I kind of went in and almost done that portfolio showcase, told them what I did. And I showed them a few pieces of work, and they're like, you've done this? And they're like, yeah. Like, that's been seen across the world. I'm like, yeah, I came from the same town as you. She says, we came from the same place.
Yeah.
So, and then we were speaking about the art exhibition. So we started doing this like a mini workshop, and there's this big square table, and I walked out of the room, and I remember going into this wee side room, and I was speaking to another kind of person in the prison service. And the art teacher came in and said, Craig, you need to come in and see this. So I went back into the classroom, and it was 12 guys around the table, sitting, talking to one another and drawing on paper. I'm going, what's the big deal? And she says, Craig, in the past 15 years, we've been trying to get these prisoners to collaborate and talk to one another, and we've never managed to do it. You've been in here for 15 minutes and you've made them do this. This is special. So, and what I heard a couple of months ago was there was 2 young lads who were in that workshop who have now been released from prison and now went on to study graphic design.
Oh my goodness.
Based off my talk and with them.
That's amazing.
And that is just totally...
I keep saying amazing. But it's just a lovely story.
It's unbelievable. Like, and I still can't quite believe, but...
So let me get this straight. You have achieved everything you set out to achieve when you moved to London, however many years ago that was.
Yeah.
And then you got to this point where you thought, right, okay, that was great. I've got there. I've done the dream client. And now you've kind of said, right, I need to do something a bit more to give back.
Yeah.
And that now has opened up a massive new world. So it doesn't feel like so I've achieved all that. So what's next? You've just kind of created this new chapter. Endless chapters by the sounds of things.
Yeah, and I've kind of put a responsibility on myself to give back and hopefully inspire others to chase their own dreams, because that's exactly what I'm doing right now. And I hate when people put barriers in front of themselves when everything that you want and dream of can be achieved.
Yeah. It
does take a lot of hard work, but it takes a lot of self-belief as well. But you can make it, you can do it. And like there's much more I want to achieve in life, but I want to make sure that I'm leaving an impact on this earth when my final day comes. I will hopefully can look back and say, Craig Black left an impact on this earth, and people can go on and be inspired of what the work that I've done or whatever, the person who I am, to go on and do whatever they want to do was inspired by me. And I would love that to happen. And yeah, I just feel like it's a self kind of reflection, a self kind of importance to me to take that responsibility on myself, and I want to do that. It's not as if someone's turning around and says, you need to be this flag bearer. It's not. I just felt like after I've been doing all these talks and put myself out there, the amount of feedback I get from saying how it's inspired them to go and chase their own dreams, I felt like, and that kind of statement alone has kind of invigorated me to do it more and to a wider audience. And to see, I didn't imagine that prison service and 2 guys to go on and study graphic design. Want to go better. If anyone says that creativity can't change the world, I think it's bullshit. It really can, because that's basically changing their 2 lives for the better. And hopefully they go on and live good lives and not go down that bad track again. But to hear that they came from me, was just, I'm even getting emotional thinking about it and saying it.
I'm getting emotional. Well, that is just, I'm just really inspired. You're giving me loads of ideas. I'm sat here thinking, gosh, what more can I do? And
you're doing amazing things though. Like,
oh, come on.
No, but seriously, like, the value that you bring to this industry, the fact that you give so many people platforms as well and give them a voice that they've never had a voice before is a special thing, and I can't applaud you enough for that. Not enough people do it. No, it's true though. It's true, and I think things like that needs to be.
Can we just sort of do a conference call once a week? You can mentor me. Anyway, thank you so much for coming and seeing me in Manchester and travelling down from Glasgow.
I've enjoyed every minute of it.
It's just been fantastic, and you'll have inspired so many people.
Yeah. I'm happy to help anyway.
Let's keep in touch, because I want to see where you're up to in a year's time, and I'm looking forward to seeing who this big client is.
I know. We can see.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
You've been listening to the Creative Boom podcast with your host, Katie Cowan. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review and subscribe. Go to creativeboom.com/podcast to find out more. Or you can follow us on Twitter @CreativeBoom.